going to talk about Directions 2024 coming up in San Diego, California in April. And I think let's take a twist on this. Let's talk about why we would attend. Why should I attend? And like, what's in it for me? ISVs come to show off their apps, how they're integrated with Business Central. But, you know, I'm coming for the first time and maybe the second time or even the third time. Really, what's in it for me to even go? I mean, other than, breaking bread, getting drunk, or having alcohol with friends, and seeing people once a year and giving big hugs and saying, "Oh my God, what's new with you and your family?" But why would you go? Like, what makes you go and kind of drive you to to fly from where you're coming from all the way to San Diego, to kind of go and do something there, come visit it.
Yeah, so that's a great question. First of all, Directions in itself, partners, for partners by partners. And one of the things that I guess, Steve, you and I have been in the community for quite some time, and we work from an end user. There's other conferences happening for those, but when I flip into becoming an independent at some point, I even found that, as even if you're an independent, found that to be very useful. It was a huge benefit for me when I had attended Directions, because it allowed me to understand what's happening in the community. Not only, of course, catching up with friends, like you said, but learned a lot. And it allowed me to become a better consultant. It allowed me, what is everyone else doing, right? Because a lot of times as an independent consultant, you're kind of in your own world. You kind of Google stuff, read people's blogs and things like that. You learn. And as you shift, and as I shifted my career working for a partner, a small partner, and I had thought that, hey, this is a perfect opportunity for a smaller partner or other partners to send people in. And, ever since then, I've been going, and I've learned a lot about how other partners are, succeeding in this space. How are they, setting up their consulting department, and how are they, what kind of other products are available out there. So it allowed you to create some networking, allowed you to create some maybe in your back pocket of ISVs. So I thought it was beneficial because it expanded not only the practice, but expanded your knowledge about the community and the product itself and what Microsoft is doing. There's so many things that they're doing now. So yeah, I find that to be the most beneficial. And I will never skip Directions ever since, because there's so much information.
It's so funny. I remember the early days, when Division held them, and they were partner conferences and users groups and stuff, and then Convergence came, and then basically, the partner Directions, has been around for, I can't even fathom how long ago, when I went to my very first one. But the funny thing is, I go there, and it's funny. It's more than just catching up with people. It really is. I mean, for me personally, regardless of which partner I was at the time, for me, it was all about two things. One was, I want to hear from Microsoft. They are the backbone of the product. They are the core developers of the product. Yes, they get ideas from us and everything like that, but I really want to hear from them. And then at the same time, I want to talk to them. I mean, when's the next time you're going to get a chance to talk to the product managers directly and sitting there and chat with them, or give them a problem and have them solve it, or whatever it is? But to actually sit there and talk with them, that's rare. So I go to that for that. And at the same time, with all the people in our community, and this for a fact, we have so many like experts, MVP experts, regular experts, product experts, ISV experts that are in a certain niche that we love hearing from them. And it's more education to me than anything else. It could be, a weird off topic that I've never heard before, but I love to be educated by them and go back and say, shoot, I never thought of that, and I'm starting to do it. So it's kind of cool learning from so many different people, at least for me. And especially, what if you're new? What if you're like a brand new, you're coming from GP to BC, you have no clue what this product is all about. You've been playing in Chronos for God knows how long, and the bicycle is blowing your mind. You're sick of the bicycle in the coffee pot, and you're like, you want to see other things, or at least hear from other people. I mean, this is a great way of doing it. You're learning from the experts. And for the most part, you know, it is the way to learn. I mean, you can learn it on your own. Don't get me wrong, but this is more than just good old like Microsoft Learn with Chronos. This is like the next level up, even 2 levels up, depending upon the subject. So for me, it's all about education and getting in front of Microsoft to talk with them about whatever thing I have on my mind. But the coolest thing I really think is I like the way you said, what did you say? I had got what ISVs will I use in my back pocket?
Yeah.
And I'm like, and it's true. I mean, there's so many ISVs when you go to the marketplace, your head is spinning. What is it, like 4,000 or something like right now?
Yeah,
And I'm
that's a
like,
lot.
how do you know what you're going to you pick? But it's like, it's the
Right.
ones that you see at the partner conference directions. It's like you get to see it, you can touch it, play with it, talk with them. Which one's really going to work with you best? I mean, who's got the best, product or maybe customer support? But it is, like I said, I think I leave there with 1 or 2 new ones because I always see somebody new every year when I
Hmm.
go back and back. There's always somebody who shows up for the first time, and you're like, "Who are you? Like, what are you doing here?" Like, and it's kind of funny, but um, I don't think there's been, a conference I'd say for you and I in the last 10 years that, um, we go there and there's what is there like 60 to 80 sessions that we can go to, plus
Right.
Microsoft speaking, and it's like I leave there with I mean, I leave there with stacks of notes, like little cheat sheet notes from the sessions or the PowerPoints that Microsoft gives out from all the stuff. But I mean, it's the next 6 months of my life where I'm learning and taking it back and deploying it some way, somehow, if it's necessary. But I mean, I have so much fun with it. I mean, it's pure education. I mean, I don't, and you go there, and sometimes you know, it's a subject that we've never even talked about for the first time. Like, like take for instance, in the last 12 months, AI. I mean, what do you think about, AI has been a big thing, and we've in the last directions last year, there was some AI conversation going on. I mean, what about
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, like that's a perfect example as well, because when you're coming in, especially if you have a practice, you're a partner, and maybe you're small, medium sized, large, and but maybe there's a gap, right? A gap within your practice. Maybe you need to learn a little bit more manufacturing, even as simple as that, right? Like maybe jobs, which is now projects. Um, it's stuff like that that you want to send people over to learn. To your point, back to your question is how about AI, right? As a partner, you have to find ways to get into that space. Now, AI is going to be talked about. So, what's a better place to go other than directions to learn about what is Microsoft doing with AI? How is it going to affect you as a partner? How can you integrate that into your business? So again, it goes back to kind of learning how if maybe there's another partner that's already doing it, have a conversation with them, network. How is Microsoft painting this? How are they bringing this into the community, into your business? How can you tap into that? So stuff like that, yes, you can read all about it, but it's also nice to hear it directly from Microsoft and directly from other ISVs or partners and how are they utilizing AI, or in this case, Copilot. So many opportunities. You can take whatever you're trying to focus on in your whether on your own or the company you work for, and then maybe a goal that you're trying to hit, and try to get as much as you can out of direction, which I've never heard from anyone that went to directions and like I didn't get anything out of it. If you did say that, that means you never went. You didn't go. So you always get something out of it.
What do you think? I mean, it's such a broad, the sessions are so broad. There's ones for like, for instance, like maybe the CEO or the president of a company, and they'll talk about salesy stuff. You've got stuff that are functional consultant related. You've got what I call the dev track or the dev admin kind of stuff, where we're getting into more technical stuff. But I mean, everybody, regardless of who you are in that organization, you can benefit from all
Hmm.
the sessions that are within inside of those tracks. I mean, you're not going to leave there, like you said. I'd be surprised if somebody physically came to me and said, "I didn't learn a thing from directions, And the best thing I can tell you is I had a couple of good meals. I mean, it's just not
Yeah.
possible. I mean, you send a variety of people from, where you are from Tigunia.
Yep.
From me, Rob and I are going to come. So, but basically, I don't see why you shouldn't send at least a good amount, especially if they're new. You got to come and learn. This is your
Yes.
learning ability. This is your one time you can come in there and learn the product from the experts. But every year you always send multiple people from your place. And it's the way to learn. You
Yeah,
do.
and yeah, there's different approaches, right? Like typically you'd send maybe the same people in your organization and they'll bring back something they learned, compile it, and then teach it, the rest of the team. I've seen other organizations where they would send the new people, right? An opportunity, because a lot of times, you're so busy, sometimes you can't him, I don't know, maybe. So you would send them in this event. You send them this kind of conferences, and then it allows them to learn something from different industry experts, and they can bring that back and see what they can do with it. So yeah, always send at least one or two people at minimum. You'd be surprised the information that you get, and it could again expand your business, expand your practice. For example, there's other products that are outside of Business Central too, right? You got Power Platform, you got BI, all those things. Like, how can you incorporate that? And there's a lot of speaking sessions at Directions where it showcases, how can you do this within your practice. It's amazing.
It is. It truly is. Obviously we're speaking here about it. We're trying to explain to everybody who's listening to us, some of the reasoning behind why people go, why you should go. That's first and foremost. Why should you go to Directions North America, especially for all the newcomers to the Business Central space and
Yeah.
and coming there to learn the product, and then also listen to Microsoft and see where the future lies for the product going for the next several years, where their roadmap is going to be. So, on that note, I guess, any final words for our friends, wondering other than click that registration button on the Directions website, get registered. I'm sure, the prices are out there and things like that. And, you know, kind of sign up and get there. But any final words for everybody
Yeah.
listening?
Yeah, so one of the things that I'd probably do, especially if it's your first time going, or maybe your second time, you learned something from last year, I would certainly be prepared. Identify what you want to learn, because there's a lot of tracks, there's a lot of sessions, right? It's hard to be at every single one of them, but my suggestion would be stay on track, whatever you're trying to achieve and trying to bring back, and of course have a good time. Get ready to network. It's that's a big component of this too, because it's all about partnerships. People forget that not only is it a learning opportunity, but you want to be able to create that relationship and network with the rest of the community. How
Yeah,
about you, Steve?
I'm gonna second that. It truly is. When the agenda comes out and you get the app on the phone, make your schedule. Stick to your schedule. It is impossible to go. If you've got two or three people from your company, split it up. Don't all go to the same one. It's not practical for all of you to attend it, because that person will bring back the notes and then you can share it when you get back to the office, as one would say. But seriously, go there, network, talk to people, talk to anybody you see, whether it be a speaker or somebody you're seeing in the audience. Talk to Chris or I. Find
Yeah,
us in the
come
hallway,
find us.
wave at us, come back and say, you did a great job on this beautiful video chat thing, give a couple of high fives there. But really, go there, have fun, network, and come back with some knowledge, learn, and you'll be a better, consultant or technical person in the future. So I guess on that great note, I'd say sign up for Directions again, and we will
Indeed.
see you in April in San Diego. Bye, guys.